Hey guys, it's me Zain. I'm blurry. Okay, I'm here. So, hey guys, it's me Zain, and today we're gonna talk about orchids and especially the topic why orchids are so different from our regular houseplants. Okay, so I thought the first sentence here has to be that the orchids are one of the largest genera of flowering plants in the entire plant kingdom, and I thought this sentence is a good starting sentence to this topic. And also we have to mention the flowers. Their flowers can be huge and beautiful, colorful, stunning blooms with olive colors and striking sparkly surface to the petals and the sepals and stuff like that. Also they can be tiny. They can be so tiny that you cannot even see them. Without colors, they can be ugly, hairy and warty and stuff like that. So there are a lot of types of orchids out there in the world. But why are they so different from our regular houseplants? Why do we have to care a little bit different for them? And why are they a little bit hard to understand for a regular normal person who is just buying normal plants and gets an orchid, and why it's so different and it's so picky and stuff like that? Well, they can be different, but if we understand them, you will understand that they are not even different at all. So the reason that we think orchids are so different is basically the idea how we grow our houseplants, because we grow houseplants at home. These houseplants can be from our natural environment, so those kind of plants which grow around us. Also they can be from far away lands. For example, we here in the temperate zones, we have lots and lots of plants from the tropical areas of the world, and different kinds of tropical plants we are growing in pots. And that's the actual key word here, the pots. Because if we want to have a little bit greenery in our houses, if we want to bring the plants in the house, well, if we cut them and put them into vases in water a few weeks, in rare cases after a few weeks they will die, but I think they will die before that even. But if we want to maintain that plant, if we want that plant to grow, we have to do something for that plant that actually it experiences outside and not in our homes. And how do they grow outside? In soil. So humans had to actually think about a way how they can actually bring the soil inside and grow plants inside without having a lot of mess and like just piles of dirt in the house. And that's how actually pots work. Pots are little containers of soils, and that's how humans can actually grow plants inside in homes when there is no soil, no possibility to have soil. And well, in the history, as people were traveling and bringing back plants from faraway lands and stuff like that, that's how all this hobby started, and people started to grow lots of kinds of plants even from different areas and stuff like that. And that's how the actual plant hobby and houseplant hobby and keeping houseplants is based. Because for example, here's a houseplant, this is called croton, and well, yeah, we are growing it in pots. This is a decorative container, and inside this decorative container there is a plastic pot and there is soil in it, and the plant grows in that soil. And we are watering it, giving it water, light, fertilizer, stuff like that, and it grows. And this is the base how all our houseplants are grown, mainly. And well, for humans it works well. You just have to bring a few handfuls of soil, dirt inside, and plants grow in that, and that's really easy. It is not a lot of hassle, so everybody can do that. So this is why it's so widely popular that you can grow actual plants inside. It's really easy. You just have these little containers with soil, and that's that. And you just have to throw a little bit of water on them and plants are growing well. And after a time, well, humans, they want everything, right? We started to grow orchids as well. And as we start to grow orchids, basically humans are really just used to their needs and used to this way of giving them their needs. We can give them light, water, soil, fertilizer, that's all. There are more special plants with adjusting this pH of the soil. fertilizing seasonally, stuff like that, but still it's really easy. Orchids are different because they don't grow exactly like these regular houseplants, because these regular houseplants grow in soil, while most of the orchids don't grow there. They are epiphytes, which means they are growing on tree trunks or tree branches. So they have a different style of growth. And well, this is the first big difference in between them, because these houseplants, they are growing in soil, they are growing upwards, they are growing towards the light, and that's that. Then here are the orchids, which aren't growing really just upwards, because the tree branches and trunks aren't like this. They aren't a normal surface. They can go like every direction. So orchids are growing there like this and stuff like that. So orchids are growing tilted in nature because they are just attached to tree trunks with their roots. And that's how they evolved to grow. So the leaves won't grow like upwards. They will, in lots of cases, they will hang down. So lots of orchids are basically pendant plant and not like upward growing normal regular plants. But well, we are humans, we want things to be easy. So we try to grow and we try to make orchids grow like our regular houseplants. We put them in little containers with medium inside and we try to make them grow upwards. But orchids aren't evolved to be grown this way. And well, there is two main ways to grow orchids, like these, in pots, and the other way is on mounds. So we basically put them on a piece of a dead wood and the orchid is growing on that dead wood part. But well, humans, they want to make everything easy and we have to water mounds every day. We have to give them more care because everyday watering is a hassle, blah blah blah, you know. But the growing in pots is really easy. So instead of making orchids grow as they naturally are growing, we are trying to make things easy for us as well. And I don't say it's bad, it's a good thing that we can make compromises between things and it's good for us and the orchids as well. I'm just saying that we try to grow orchids as we are growing normal regular houseplants, which are not growing on tree trunks and tree branches, and they are not attached to that, they are attached into the soil. Well, if you buy an orchid, it basically, if it's Phalaenopsis orchid or any other orchid, basically it comes like this, with a stake in the pot, with clips and these things on the stakes. Why is that? This stake actually holds the flower spike, but in nature they don't grow like this. But in nature, who stakes these flower spikes? Nobody, because they are growing like this, because they are pendant and attached to tree trunks, and my medium is falling all over the place here. So we can see this thing here even in flower shops, even in these garden centers. We have to stake them to make them grow as we want them to grow and not as they want to grow naturally. So it's a training process from our side, because we want to train them to grow in a way which is like more easy, let's say, for us humans. But also there are other things which are different. Well, the first thing, the soil. We can't grow orchids in soil because they are epiphytes, they need a lot of air, they need constant air movement. If we would grow them in regular garden soil, the roots would die because they wouldn't get that amount of oxygen that they would need. So we have to grow them in something which is really close to their natural environment growing surface, let's say. And what is that? Tree trunks. So what is on the tree trunks? The bark of the trees. So we are growing them in bark, but there are lots of new types of medium. For example, bark chips will degrade after a time, so we have to regularly repot them. So humans thought something and they made up the clay pebbles. So we can grow them in clay pebbles, we can grow them in lots of different types of medium. Also, the root system is different as well, because what does the normal regular houseplant root system does? It just attaches to the soil and gives the actual plant the nutrients and the water it needs. Well, in this case, it's different kind of attachment, because it has to be, let's say, glued to the tree trunks, so the orchids won't fall off from trees. So they are attaching themselves on a different kind of surface, and they are getting the water from there, from rain, from nutrients. So it's a different kind of root system what we have in orchids. But also there is another function or property or quality to orchids which is really different from our other plants. Their slowness. They can be really slow. Well, yeah, think of an example for that. Tulips, hyacinths, daffodils. I chose these bulb plants because they are living their entire growth season in just a few months, because they are resting. After it in the spring they come up with their flowers, they grow leaves, they store energy, and they take up lots of energy in a few months, and that's that. The leaves just fade away and the bulb is there in the soil, and the rest of the year, in late summer, autumn and in the winter time, they are just resting underground. Everything happened just in a few months, and all the other plants are really super fast. For example, think about trees. They have to grow thousands and thousands and millions of leaves in just a few weeks when it's spring. And I think that is just super fast and super fascinating, how much energy they put into growing leaves, growing new leaves and stuff like that. They can have, I can say that it's not true, but they have endless nutrients and water in the soil, while orchids, they are different. They are growing on tree trunks. There won't be water like every time, for example, or they don't have that much nutrients. They have less amounts of water, less amounts of nutrients, so they slow down the rhythm of growth, so they can cope with the lack of nutrients and lack of water. So they are slow growers, but they can actually bring out the most of it. So they do things really slow, but they can give us these beautiful flowers. So yeah, orchids can be different if you don't understand them, but if you understand them, that they are slow growers, their needs are a little bit different. If you understand this, you will actually know and understand better your orchids, and you can care better for your orchids. So I thought I'm gonna make this type of video today, and I hope you liked it. So if you like this video, click on the like button, subscribe to this channel. Also you can click on the bell button thingy in the corner, so you will get notifications if I upload a new video. Also you can leave a comment, subscribe to my other channel, and you can follow me on Instagram, and see you next time. Bye guys!